As you guys can see right now, it is around 3:40 a.m. I just finished the script for this and I'm going to be filming this video right now. I have no clue why I'm doing this at this kind of timing, but yeah, let's get it. Hey guys, it's about 4 a.m. right now and the night is still young. What is this video about? Well, it's in the title. Now, you guys may think that I'm doing this for productivity. I'm not. I am just a degenerate. Kind of like a bunch of you guys and girls that are watching this past 2 a.m. right now. Okay, so here's why I sleep at 5 a.m. Number 1. I have the time management skill level equivalent to that of a baked potato, and because of that, I am extremely productive at night, as the added cortisol, the stress hormone, builds up from my lack of actual productivity during the day, resulting in a boatload of stress and motivation that serves as my fuel throughout the night, as I attempt to salvage my day by doing my to-do list in an hour, instead of the 5 hours that I was supposed to use in the afternoon. Is it healthy? Definitely not. Is it effective? Nah, it's not. But you know what? It never fails to make me feel like shit when I wake up in the morning. Number 2, I am addicted to social media and content. You know, what better way to reward myself after a productive night by scrolling through some social media to get my dopamine boost. Watching content with pure entertainment value is pretty much the same thing as injecting my veins with coffee laced with dopamine. Going down the YouTube recommendation abyss from Ali Abdal to crack-hit TikTok compilation videos is pretty much part of my nightly routine. This unfortunately results in my brain being tricked into thinking that it's morning. Turns out that our screens emits a blue light, and it's a light naturally produced by the sun. Blue light tells your brain that it's daytime, and this suppresses the production of melatonin, which is the hormone that helps you sleep at night. But don't worry my friends, I use the blue light filter. Number 3, I like to have lunch when I wake up. Think about it. Breakfast in bed? Why not lunch in bed? Me sleeping at 5 a.m. pretty much guarantees that I'll miss out on the sunrise like I normally do. But you know, right when I wake up, it's time for lunch, baby. Who likes waiting for food? Not me. I'm that kid in the marshmallow test that eats the marshmallow before they even tell me what the rules are. The only 2 things I look forward to every day is lunchtime and sleep time. Not dinner time, because I eat dinner in hall, and it's edible. Definitely better than 2 years ago so far, so gotta give credit where credit is due. Number 4. I like having alone time with my tissue papers and sanitizer. And lastly, I have failed in my multiple attempts to correct my shitty body clock. Let's just say old habits die hard, and this habit of me doing nothing productive from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. is taking a while to die. Mission failed. We'll get them next time. So that's about it for the video. Honestly, this was very confusing for me to make. I scripted this out literally just now at about 2 a.m. So yeah, what was the purpose of this video, you may ask? I'm calling out all of you for sleeping late. Actually, I'm just calling out myself for making this video at this unheavenly hour right now. And that's why from today onwards, starting right now, instead of sleeping at 5 a.m, I'm going to be waking up at 5 a.m. instead, so I can join my fellow financial advisors in Guoco Towers in the 5 a.m. club. Okay, but for real, for my fellow night owls out there, if it seems like you can only get work done at night and you're constantly struggling to wake up in the morning, it may not actually be a you problem. There's actually this thing called a chronotype. Sounds like something straight out of cyberpunk, right? And basically what a chronotype means is that it sort of categorizes the type of sleeper that you are, whether you're a morning lark or a night owl. The sleep expert, Matthew Walker, actually says that your chronotype is not really decided by you, the individual. Rather, it's something that's heavily influenced by genetics. For example, if you're an evening type, chances are either one or both of your parents were also evening types. So he says. And he has a sort of theory about how this came about. Basically, he theorizes that, you know, right now when we sleep, we are vulnerable for around 8 hours. But in hunter-gatherer tribes, they don't really sleep like we do. They sleep as a group, a collective. And in order to reduce the amount of time that they as a collective are physically vulnerable, you sort of have people taking shifts. You know, some will go to bed early at about 8 to 9 p.m. and wake up at 4 to 5 a.m. Whereas on the other hand, you had others sleeping at 2 a.m. and getting up at 10 a.m. So if you think about it, collectively they are only vulnerable for a few hours. much less than 8 hours. But everyone still gets the ample amount of time to sleep. Basically, you might have descended from one of the night watchers from a few thousand years ago. I also wanted to cover this concept that he covers in this masterclass video that I watched. Basically, as we go through our phases in life, our circadian rhythm, commonly known as the body clock, might also shift forwards and backwards in time. Not like time travel or whatever. Like, as a kid, you would typically sleep at around 9 PM. And no matter how much we wanted to stay up at night, we always end up somehow conking out at that time anyway, before finding ourselves awake on our beds in the early morning. When we get into our teenage years, this actually shifts a bit further back. We tend to prefer sleeping a little later, past midnight mostly. And in consequence, we also tend to wake up later as well, evidently. And because we are constantly waking up late and, being lazy for school and everything, we may have developed this belief amongst our parents that we are lazy and slothful. But it turns out, we're actually sleeping in conjunction with our natural rhythms at this point. And the reason we sleep in during the weekend is that perhaps we have encumbered a sleep debt as a result of all the early morning classes that starts outside of our natural rhythm. Mr. Matthew compares this by saying this is the equivalent of getting a grown adult to wake up at 4 AM in the morning as compared to like their usual timing of 7 AM. Okay, but my point is, if you are a night owl and you feel like you aren't a productivity beast due to your late sleeping hours and not being in the 5 AM club, it may not be your fault. Is this just a convoluted way of trying to make me feel better about myself at 4:30 in the morning? Perhaps, but you know what? It's almost 5 AM right now and I better get some sleep before I wake up at 5 AM later. That's it for this crackhead 4 in the morning video. Do leave a like, subs if you loved it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Good night!
What are you doing? I'm preparing a video.
At his timing?
Yeah.